My name's Alicia, and I'm the new owner of the zoo. I bought it in 2022. The zoo is beautiful and wonderful, and I grew up coming here, and I have always loved it. My mission has been just to improve the lives of all these animals here.
So today we have a pretty special project going on. We're doing some lemur trees for Alicia down at the Greenview Park Zoo. It's a beautiful little zoo. We had a chance to go down, see the animals, see the area, and yeah, I'm very excited to be able to show her what we can do. So here's what I've done, is I sort of have a quick sketch of what I want to accomplish. Now, the lemur trees, we do have an exit for the lemurs. There's a barn in behind, and this is where they come out of the barn. So I would love to be able to bring the tree up and coil it over to the entrance so they can just jump in, and then have a couple outshoot branches so that it brings them a little bit closer to the edge of the fence, and then therefore engaging in the guests. Now, beyond being able to hop between these structural branches, we're gonna have small little offshoot branches, little pipes that Alicia is able to stick real live branches into. It creates that engagement for the animal. Yeah, I took various size pipe and I was able to cut it and bend it and really get, in my mind, some of the most organic shaping for artificial trees that I've ever done. I've started this. Now this will span about 12 feet, come up about there, and then have like different offshoots coming off of various sizes. I really wanted to use a new material, Zoopoxy. Being light in weight, a little bit different than cement, I was going to be able to coat our steel piping. I was going to be able to get it tighter to the piping because it bonds really, really well.
Okay, so I'm going to explain how we paint this different product, which is called Zoopoxy. It's from Polygem, and the reason why it's different is that this is topical application. Now you're probably thinking that all paint is topical, and that's partially true, except for when we do our concrete, it actually absorbs into the concrete. So you're able to get completely different layering and bleeding effects. This is more like painting as if you would paint on a canvas, right? So it's a little bit different in the sense that there's an actual texture. So we find a reference, which is this piece. And then what we're doing is we're finding the different colors. So I have a rich brown, I have a very dark brown, and I have a very light brown. Now the Zoopoxy starts with a fairly light coloration, as seen on this. And then what I've done is I've taken my rich brown and I've actually just brushed the edge of all the grain texture that we've placed into it. The next step, it's very, very, very important that you brush with the grain texture. And then you take the next color, which I found to be a very light grayish brown, and then I brush that in, and almost bled. You can see I just finished there. It's still a little bit wet, like I can still rub it off, so you have to wait until it dries before you go to the next. The final color, I should say, is going to be this black brown that I can really work into the deep grooves to give it additional depth. After that, I'm going to do another whole layer of each color so that I can fine tune and ensure that I have everything. Alright, bit of a cold day. Sean and I just finished loading up, now I'm filling up. We are heading to the zoo. Okay, just hit a giant bump. Hopefully nothing's wrong, but gotta make sure. We're so close. Yeah. Gotta turn back.
Now that we've got everything back to the shop, I could see that it looks like that there's actually a compromised pipe. So I cut away the pipe section and basically redid it. I added our Zoopoxy in and we recolored it and it's ready to go. So back on the road. I had two trees kind of like in a very equal distance to each other inside the enclosure. I still wanted it to look very natural, even though it had to bolt into two posts that were already done and there, and not necessarily for the trees. I believe it was there for their original outer line of the exhibit tree. I really loved the idea of having like almost this dead looking tree that shot up towards that window and then came towards the viewing window as well. So it was sort of long and drawn out, and then that way in my head I was picturing these lemurs jumping out of their access point and then running down this thing towards the onlookers. And then the other tree we did in more of like a Y shape, have that sort of loom over the first tree. Basically we did a tree stump that acted kind of like a Christmas tree holder in a way, where they could put real trees into it. And so I thought that was kind of a neat idea to make each branch be one of those of various sizes so that they could stuff real branches into each of the larger branches.
Oh my God! You guys are awesome.
When you took me through and you showed me the lemurs and just seeing how fast they jump around and how they like to run, I really wanted to create like this long sort of branch that shot up to their window. I wanted the two trees to really take up the whole space but interact together. Sort of made some side changes where we could stick real branches all over in so many different outlets.
So happy with it.
Yeah?
Love it.
These guys have been loving their lives now, and they've been out every single day. There are two families of lemurs, and the other one's extremely jealous because they don't have an indoor-outdoor facility yet, so they can't come out. But these guys are thrilled and jumping around and exercising and sunbathing every day now. It definitely shows the public what they do in the wild and how they live, and that they are always up in trees and swinging and jumping and playing. It shows them the hierarchy of the lemurs too, because with the different levels in the trees, it'll show you the bosses of the clan will sit up at the top, and the lower down will be the lower on the totem pole. So it's just nice to be able to see them jumping around and acting like they would in the wild in a tree that looks like what they would have in the wild. Searching for somebody who could build me natural rocks and trees for future enclosures. I really want all of the new enclosures to look like their natural habitats, and I found Rockscapes online, looked up all their pictures and their videos from the previous work they've done, and was blown away by it. So I thought I would give them a go, and I will be using them again. Yeah, great results.
If you like this kind of content, please like, share, comment. It really helps us out. Few bumps in the road on this one, but we got it done, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. It was really great to see Alicia's reaction. I hope the lemurs appreciate it just as much. Next week we're in Caledon, moving a ton of rock up a very steep hill to make this beautiful hillside koi pond and water feature right next to probably one of the best pizza ovens that I've had a pleasure of sampling pizza from. So please stay tuned. See you next week.